First at 5, Mayor Brett Smiley is warning of future tax increases and major cuts to city programs. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. The decision depends on how much money the judge will order the city to pay Providence City Schools as part of the ongoing funding battle. We have team coverage of the Providence Schools decision. Target 12 reporter Alexandra Leslie is focused on efforts for Providence to take back control of the district.
But first, let's go live to Alex Torres Perez with a look at how this will impact the capital city moving forward. Alex?
Well, Mike and Shannon, you might have to say goodbye to PVD Fest and other beloved community events as Mayor Brett Smiley says there are tough choices ahead as they try to avoid bankruptcy in order to pay the Providence City School District.
That their city leaders stand
from $10.9 million to $85 million. That's how much money the city of Providence may have to pay as a result of the ongoing legal battle over Providence City School funding. Money the school superintendent says students deserve.
Our student needs continue to grow, and we continue to ignore it. Well, under this watch, it is not going to happen. We're going to advocate for our students.
But city leaders say students and their families will be the ones to pay the price, along with the entire city.
Providence families are already stretched thin. We are in the midst of a devastating housing crisis. Cost of living continues to rise. For a ride to reach into the city's pockets to finance budget missteps at the expense of our capital city's residents is short-sighted and frankly appalling.
The city already put a hiring freeze in effect and ordered all departments to pause any discretionary spending. But more cuts could be on the way, from city layoffs and furloughs to cutting down on additional patrols and ending a number of programs from housing support and nonviolence training to summer learning and water parks. However, cuts aren't the only thing on the table, as city leaders warn they may have to go to the General Assembly to ask for a mid-year tax increase.
RIDE has put our city in an impossible position.
The city can increase taxes by up to 4% every year, which can generate about $15 million in new revenue. That ends up costing taxpayers an extra $330 a year for homeowners and $580 for rental properties.
Even though none of us here want to raise taxes or cut vital expenses, that's what we will do because that's what we have to do.
Students walked out of class Tuesday calling for accountability from both sides.
Because I feel like we shouldn't have gotten to this point, and our future shouldn't be treated as something that's so, I guess, like such a throwaway, you know.
And Mayor Brett Smiley says that the court's ultimate decision will basically give the city a better sense of what they need to do, and if that includes those extreme measures. We want to continue our team coverage now with Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie. Alex, with Mayor Brett Smiley having all this in mind, he also says that he wants to take back control of the Providence City School District.
Yeah, that's right. Mayor Smiley says he feels it is clear that the state-run Providence schools can't manage their finances, and that he and the city council have proven they can manage tough budgets better.
To be real consequences.
Tensions between Providence, the public schools, and Rhode Island Department of Education are running high.
If you can tell that we're emotional today, it's because, one, we know we could do better, and two, it is just wrong what they are doing to our kids.
In a news conference Tuesday, Mayor Brett Smiley and City Council President Rachel Miller say a judge's upcoming decision about how much money Providence will have to hand over to the state-run Providence Public Schools to comply with state law could have catastrophic implications for Providence as a whole.
And if the Department of Education is going to force us to raise taxes and cut critical funding and send yet another blank check to the Providence Public Schools, then it is time for us to get our schools back now. Enough is enough.
Earlier this fall, Education Commissioner Angelica Infante Green recommended extending the state takeover of Providence schools up to 3 more years. The State Council on Elementary and Secondary Education unanimously approved. Both Smiley and Miller were disappointed in that decision, saying at the time the city was well on track to begin the transition back to local control in the 2025-2026 school year. Smiley says the concept of the state takeover 5 years ago has failed to materialize.
Because the potential for collaboration is non-existent.
A RIDE spokesperson told me a short time ago that, quote, city leaders have repeatedly stated they are ready to prove to the state that they're prepared to regain local control, but their budget priorities say otherwise. As we've been reporting, the city, district, and RIDE will head to court next week, where a judge is slated to decide how much money Providence owes the district. With the Target 12 investigators, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.